Hey guys, what's up? I know I've been gone for a while, and my uploading schedule is probably going to be a little bit effed up. I'm just going to upload as much as I can and do as much as I can for videos in my off time. But for those of you that don't know, I recently got a girlfriend, and trying to spend as much time with her as possible. I love her to death. So yeah, let's get into this video. Oh, I forgot the video is going to be the sponsors I think should come back to NASCAR or come to NASCAR full time. Well, full time would be nice, but I'd like to see them at least come part time with some teams. So let's get into this video. Okay, the first one is Tide or Tide Pods, whichever you want more. Here's the thing though with Tide Pods, I don't think they're gonna want to come back. I loved the throwback Tide scheme that Matt Kenseth had run, and I'd love to see them come back. I think that it would be a really cool partnership, but they're probably not going to, because back when they were here in NASCAR, they actually had been I believe that's back when P&G owned them. I think they have since sold them, but I'm thinking that around the time they left is when P&G sold Tide. I'd love to see them come. I think it'd be really cool to see like a Ryan Newman or a Chase Elliott or somebody like that running a scheme like this. I'd like to see it full time, but part time it would make me really happy, because I can't remember the name of the guy who drove it before Kenseth brought it back for a race, but I can't remember his name, but it looked really cool, and so I'd like to see that Tide or Tide Pods come to NASCAR. Okay, so the second one I want to see come back is the U.S. military, or at least like the Army or the Navy. I believe that the Navy sponsored a few cars in the Xfinity Series or the Nationwide Series, whatever you want to call it, like way back. But I think that they stopped literally a little bit after Army had stopped doing Newman, and that 39 car was on its way out. I think that a couple years after that's when the Navy stopped doing the Nationwide Series. But I'd like to see the U.S. military forces sponsor a car, at least like for one race, as a throwback for Newman, or you can sponsor it full time. But I think that could be a really nice partnership. I mean, if you look at the fucking budget, they probably have the kind of marketing budget to do that. So I think it'd be pretty cool to see somebody get a military sponsorship like an Army or a Navy back in NASCAR. I would just fucking lose my mind if that happened. Let's go on to the next one now. Okay, so the third one is Best Buy. They've been out of the sport for a while now. I can't remember any of the drivers that actually sponsored them. All I know is it was like on the 17. I think that was Kenseth too. As shown here, it's the 43, and I believe that there's a few more that I'm missing. If you guys know, comment, and also comment any kind of sponsorships that you'd like to see return or come into NASCAR full-time or part-time. I'd really love to hear your opinion on these. So, I'd love to see Best Buy come. I know that the kind of stores are closing down, and I honestly don't know if they went bankrupt or not, but I think that would be a really cool throwback scheme at the least to have at Darlington for like a 43 of Darrell Wallace Jr. I believe that's how you say his name, right? Darrell Wallace Jr. in that number 43 car now. Or you could put it on the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. That would be now that one would make me really good, because I remember watching that Kenseth 17 with the Best Buy as a kid, and I would love it. Let's move on to number 4. Okay, so the next one we're gonna do is CSX. I believe that the last car that they actually sponsored was the number 34, Chris Buescher, and I really loved the look of this car. I think it was really cool. I think that it could have been a match made in heaven had they given him a little bit more time to develop in that 34 car. And well, now he's, I believe, in a better place with better equipment. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he has better equipment than he did have in that 34 car. And even though this car isn't around anymore, they can't do it. At least maybe they could do maybe a throwback scheme. But I think that would be really cool to see these guys come to NASCAR full time once again and just duke it out with the rest of them. Okay, so the next one is maybe a controversial one, maybe not. This could be argued over. In a case probably could be made for both sides on this one, but actually, I would like to see either Dish or DirecTV come back into the sport and sponsor a car for at least one race. Because if you look at these two schemes, they're just like amazing put together. I love seeing these two schemes, and it kind of would make it look like they are competing again, and Netflix isn't anywhere near the picture. So yeah, I'd like to see either Dish or DirecTV come and sponsor a car. This one, I would love to see either Hulu or Netflix or both of them. I'd love to see both of them come and sponsor a car. I'd like to see Hulu back. I don't think that Netflix has ever sponsored a car. The one that you see is like a Josh Wise concept design from I don't know how many years ago, but I'd like to see them sponsor a car. Just put one out there, and I'd love. It would make me even happier is if they both sponsored a car on the same weekend, and they were duking it out for like a maybe a win or somewhere in the pack, just like duking it out to just like a space race kind of thing. Space race, you get it, because it's NASCAR. Yeah, I'm not funny. I think that would be a really cool thing for those two companies to do. Just spend a little bit of money. How about the sport? How about the teams? And maybe you could get some more people to subscribe to you in this process. The next one we have here is YouTube. This probably isn't going to happen, but I would love to see YouTube give back to the people and everybody. Because number one, I feel like they only care about the bigger channels and don't really give a shit if they're a small channel. Which small channels, they're the fucking backbones. Yes, more of the money is, or that once made on the bigger channels, but if you take a look at most of the money, it's the smaller channels collectively that are making the money. And YouTube needs to realize this, otherwise their business plan is just gonna make them fail 100%. It's just common sense marketing. But it would be nice to see them give back to some of the fans and sponsor a race team for a race, and give them a chance to win with some better equipment maybe. And just because the adpocalypse, that probably made them a crap ton $1 billion like 1 week. Just 1 week of that just could have made them billions of dollars. And I'd like to see them put some of that money towards something else but selfish desires. You know what I'm saying? Let's move on to the next one. Now let's go into one of my favorite schemes ever to have debuted in NASCAR ever. The Sharpie scheme from the days of Kurt Busch in the 97. Oh my gosh, this is such an amazing scheme. I would love to see Sharpie do a throwback with Kurt Busch, just having, even though he's in the one car, just because, let's be honest, it's a 1-year deal, and he's 40, which means he's probably going to be retiring. If you do the math, he's retiring soon. It'd be nice to, maybe even the last race of the season, to let him go out how he came into the sport. I think that would be a really, really cool send off for him. Yes, he did have his share of temper tantrums when he was younger, but then he's kind of matured and become a better person. I think he's actually become a better than the other Bush brother, aka Kyle, the dumbass Bush. He's a good driver. You have to give him credit where it's due. He's a good driver. It's just he thinks he can say whatever he wants. I'd just like to go up and slap him whenever he says something stupid. and NASCAR can't really do anything about it because he's basically the main money maker, and they know it. So I would love to see a nice little send off for Kurt because he's getting up there in age, and just go out how you came in. That would be a really, really cool thing for Sharpie to do. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm just putting the idea out there. Okay, so the last one we're gonna do is I'd like to see a Dunkin' Donuts sponsorship. I love their donuts. I used to go there a few years ago. I went there like every fucking Saturday and got myself a nice little donut, and I just went on with my day. And I'd love to see them sponsor a car. This, obviously, the picture that's showing is just a concept design from, I believe it was NASCAR Heat 3. I'm not sure, it could be by something else or somebody else. I found it on the internet. I think it was cool, so do with that what you will. But I would love to see a Dunkin' Donuts sponsorship somewhere in there. I think that would be just a really cool just scheme for everybody to just adore. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any ideas, if you guys have any sponsors that you wish would come or come back to NASCAR, please feel free to put them in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time.